Back at the beautiful Red Rock Hotel, Casino, Shops, Pool, and Spa Resort, I believe is the name of it. Best property on the west side of Las Vegas, approximately 15 miles west of the Strip. No real introduction needed since we've been here before, but just in case. It was a rather lovely 86 degrees today in Las Vegas. Currently about 68 with a slight breeze. I'm not bragging, I'm just, just letting you know, just relaying the information. Like I heard it was 30 something today in Michigan. So just comparing, just sharing info, comparing and contrasting. Sorry about that, Michigan friends and family. But yeah, I guess we skipped that whole springtime thing, went directly from wintertime to summertime. But really, if it's 86 degrees today, March, what is the date? March 12th, I somewhat dread what June and July will be bringing this year. Alright guys, usual drill, just hopping in the 2-5 game over here at the Red Rock. $1,000 maximum buy-in, be in for 1,000. Gonna dive right in, right in. So in this hand, we're 7-handed, and I look down at pocket jacks, raise it up to $20 from under the gun +1. The next 2 players to act both call, and the button puts in a 3-bet. It makes it $70 to go. It folds back to me, and I think the button has about $500 or $600 total here. With the action as it happened, an open and 2 calls, and then a 3-bet on the button, I think his range could be decently wide here. Jack seems like it's likely to be ahead of that range. Plenty of other hands that the button could be putting into his 3-bet squeezing range. Pocket jacks, 4th best hand ever created. I'm gonna put in a 4-bet, so I go ahead and make it $225. It could be a little big, could be a little bit on the big side. It could fold out too much of his squeezing range and weight his hands, his continuing hands a little bit too strongly. So it could maybe go a little bit smaller, but out of position with pocket jacks, certainly happy to just win it pre-flop, and that's actually what happens. Everyone ends up folding. Take this one down. So in this hand, there are 6 limps to me in the big blind. I look down at pocket 10s. I think it's good enough to put in a raise. It certainly rates to be the best hand, strongest hand out there. So looking to build a little bit of a pot with pocket 10s. I go ahead and make it $45. A little bit on the big side, but some of the players at the table are a little bit call happy, so I go a little bit bigger than normal. And there ends up being 2 callers. The action goes around to the small blind, who is a short stack and jams his stack in there for somewhere around a total of $150 or $160. With the betting action being reopened and players left to act behind me, definitely looking to put in a 4-bet here and isolate the small blind with his short stack. Since I mentioned that some of the players at the table are fairly call happy and playing fairly wide ranges, I could put in a raise and make it look like I'm committed. Don't think there's too much difference between doing that, making it say $350 or $375 or $400 or something like that, and just jamming it all in there. So I just decided to jam it all in there. It's somewhere like $1,000 effective. Happy to just take my hand up against the small blind plus all the dead money in the pot. Could be slightly reckless and slightly not optimal, perhaps. Maybe we should just be putting in a standard 4-bet and be looking to play a pot with some of these guys, but once again, out of position with a hand like pocket 10s. Happy to just get it all in here versus small blind. That's what happens. The other players fold. Turns out the small blind has king, queen of diamonds, so we are actually flipping, but With all the money that's in there dead, plus being a slight favorite, it's definitely a plus EV situation. Having the equity overlay with the dead money in there is a pretty good situation. So not only that, but we end up holding versus the King Queen. Scoop it, take it down.
Thank you. 35.
So in this hand, the button straddle is on. I look down at pocket jacks again. In middle position, raise it up to $35. The button and both of the blinds call. 4 ways to the flop. King 9-9 rainbow. The blinds check, I decide to check, and the button puts out a tiny bet of $30. The blinds fold, and can't really go anywhere yet for this price. I don't expect him to be betting too many worse hands here, but who knows? Could have a small pocket pair. Can't fold for $30, so I call. Turn is the queen of spades, so brings a backdoor flush draw and gives us an inside straight draw. I check it, and this time he bets $50. Slightly annoying because it's such a good price, but it's so unlikely that we currently have the best hands. But assuming that I still have some outs here, I go ahead and make the call, just getting too good of a price. River's a brick. I check it over to him again, and he bets $50 again. I just don't see it in him bluffing for this price and betting worse for value. Of course it's possible, and the price is quite attractive, but I just make a slightly annoying fold, toss to Jackson for that measly bet. Sigh. So this hand, the button straddle is on once again, and there are 2 limps, and we look down at ace queen offsuit. Pretty strong cards, pretty powerful cards, I would say. So I make it $50 to go. The button and the second limper call. So 3 ways this time. Flop, not too favorable. Flop is 9-7-6 with 2 clubs. It checks to me, I check, and the button checks. Turns an offsuit 10. Action checks all the way through again. River offsuit 4. Action checks through all the way again. The limper declares queen high. I show my hand, and the button turns over king high. So ace queen high good. Take it down. Wrapping up the session. Not exactly the most eventful session, I would say. Not the biggest of swings today, which isn't exactly the worst thing in the world. Certainly could be worse. So I have one more hand history that I want to talk about, but I want to go to a special location to do that. Probably sounds weird, right? But don't worry, it's not going to be that weird. Well, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Alright, I'm gonna take you guys to one of my favorite spots in Las Vegas, but it's not what you're thinking. It's not a bar. Little something different, something a little bit different. I'm sure you're confused, but we'll be there shortly. In fact, I think we should just transport there. What do you say? Ready? All right, so I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what in the hell is this? This is the middle of nowhere. This is the desert. This is just us and the stars and the moon and the desert and this empty road, basically. So it's a pretty cool spot that I like to come to sometimes at night and do some nighttime photography. Not many cars rolling by, so cool little spot to come to. So I said we had one more hand to discuss that we could go over, so let's do that real quick. So in this hand, there's 1 limper, and I look down at 2 red 5s and make it $25 to go. No less than 4 callers, so 5 ways to a flop. Flop is king, queen, 4, all diamonds. There's 2 checks in front of me. No reason to bet here, so I check, and action checks all the way around. Turn is pretty good, I think, for us. Turn is an offsuit 5. Turn is set. The first player to act bets $65. Second player to act calls, and it's on us. Don't think I'm looking to raise here. Monotone flop board. Just gonna see what happens behind me and also on the river card. So I call and everyone else folds. 3 ways to a river card, which is the 6 of diamonds. So we make a 5 high flush here. Action checks to me, happy to show it down. I check back. First player just kind of shakes his head. Second player shows king 7 for top pair. 5 high flush, good. Set good, flush good. We take it down. So I'm wondering if there's like some sort of a word that I could use to describe that run out. Some sort of a positive word, something that could be maybe used in the place of the word good or swell or something. It's coming to me. Maybe it starts with an F. Some word that would describe that run out. Oh, you know what? I know. So there you go. You asked, we delivered. We have favorable apparel now. I know some people were asking for a way to support the channel. I'm super appreciative of not only that, but anyone who's here, who's watching this, who's subscribed. Can't thank you guys enough. We are 40 videos deep. Not stopping anytime soon, but pretty blown away by how many people have stopped by and continue to do so. And if anyone out there wants to buy a shirt, we'll be super thrilled about that. Thanks to my beautiful fiance for putting in all the work, coming up with all the designs and everything. But yeah, we wanted a design that wasn't all pokered out to death. Pocket aces, pocket rockets this, royal flush, all in, jam, pre-flop, etc. This, nice and simple. We know what's up with this. All right, I'm gonna take this photo and get out of here. Call it a day. Call it a night, morning.